And now to the most significant Supreme Court losses for a U.S. president in modern history. The justices ruled today that President Trump's sweeping global tariffs are illegal and must end. It was a key part of President Trump's plan to bring business back to the U.S. CBS LA's Juan Fernandez is here to explain what happens next and what happens to the billions of dollars of tariffs already collected.
That's right. You said it, Pat. It's a lot of money. $175 billion is about what the U.S. had already collected while the tariffs were in effect. Now there's a rush of people looking for potential tariff refunds, which economists and trade experts say could set off another long legal fight. And tonight, President Trump is pledging to keep the tariffs in place using a different legal basis.
I'm ashamed of certain members of the court.
An angry President Trump lashed out at the justices, turning his ire on three of the court's conservatives, Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett, justices he put on the court, and Chief Justice John Roberts, who wrote the opinion.
They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution.
The three joined with the court's three liberal justices to rule that the federal emergency trade law that gives presidents powers to regulate imports did not authorize President Trump to impose tariffs. Said the Chief Justice, had Congress intended to convey the distinct and extraordinary power to impose tariffs, it would have done so expressly. The ruling invalidates 10% baseline tariffs on almost all global imports, as well as significantly higher tariffs of up to 50% on goods from countries like Canada, Mexico, and China. Dissenting justices, led by President Trump's third appointee, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, downplayed the ruling's impact, pointing to the other, more limited laws which might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs at issue in this case. Within hours, President Trump announced new 10% baseline tariffs under a different trade law.
We're immediately instituting the 10% provision, which we're allowed to do.
But that law comes with significant constraints, including caps on tariffs and a 5-month time limit that will undermine his ability to use tariffs as a negotiating tool. It's one reason why Victor Schwartz, New York wine importer at the center of this case, saw the ruling as a victory.
It's like I just stepped on the podium and won a gold medal.
Schwartz said he's paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in tariffs and is worried he could lose his business. Now, like thousands of other businesses, both big and small, Schwartz will be seeking a refund, but the president said refunds could take years, if ever. And of course, Pat, they're talking about possible lawsuits and all this. And earlier today, we heard 5 years before someone could possibly see a refund of tariffs already paid.
Wow, that's just amazing, Juan. And we do have more information on how these tariffs will affect businesses or already have. So we're going to continue on here, Juan, with CBS LA's Gio Insignares. He continues our team coverage. And Gio, you've been speaking with local business owners who suffered under the tariffs but aren't really sure what's going to happen next.
That's right, Pat. There's a sense of relief to some degree, but there's also a lot of uncertainty because while refunds are the main talking point, as you mentioned, it could take a long time before business owners receive them, and some might not even have the time to wait before making significant changes.
It's a win. And then we got nervous.
Melkin Khosrovian is the co-founder of Green Bar Distillery. It's been operating in downtown LA since 2004, sourcing ingredients locally. But some of the things he needs simply aren't made in the U.S. That's where tariffs have made things difficult over the last year.
Last year, our tariffs began at 25%, roughly. They went up to 175%, and now it's a low of 55%.
Khosrovian says raising prices on their customers was never a feasible option. His company ate 100% of the tariffs.
We're getting walloped. We're eating the cost because our customers can't accept or won't accept price increases, and we don't want to lose them. So it felt very, very, unfair.
That's why today's ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court, striking down tariffs imposed under emergency powers by President Trump, led to some relief.
This leather we import from Italy.
Molly Leonetti, the president of Los Angeles-based handbag and apparel brand Claire V, says since April of last year, the company has spent $1.6 million in tariffs and had to absorb the cost.
Just even a reprieve in the tariffs for some time would be meaningful to us.
For Brian Gold at family-owned Aldic Home, tariffs drove up the cost of nearly everything they brought in, from Christmas trees to lights.
This comes from China, this factory.
They spent $200,000 on tariffs for Christmas items last year, and they had to pass some of those costs to customers.
But we're happy that it looks like the tariffs might go away.
All of this relief setting in, even as what happens next remains an open question.
We're hopeful because, this is a Supreme Court decision. But at the same time, who's going to do it? Who do we contact to get our money? We don't know.
While refunds may be possible, for Khosrovian, the biggest changes to his business may already be locked in.
We had to make investments that were very painful to make, but we felt we had no choice.
Now, even if the tariffs ultimately go away, some small business owners like Khosrovian says things like cutting jobs and investing in automation simply can't be undone. Pat?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Gio. And this story doesn't stop here. Stay with CBS LA and CBSLA.com for the latest impact of the ongoing tariff fight.